Welcome back. I'm Bill. Today, I want to talk about R55 generators. I've had a lot of requests after the Q99 generator rebuild video. I've had a lot of requests to show how to rebuild one of these. I don't know if they're more difficult or easier. You don't have to unbend anything really, but these are a little more complicated than the Q99s, and so bit of a challenge, but they're relatively expensive. So if you can recover the ones you've got, and I've got a whole drawer of these, I think you're better off doing that, and I hate to be wasteful anyways. So yeah, you could always break out a new one, but it's not that hard to recover a used one that's not working well. So you can see I've got two Canadian-made 168Ks here. This guy's running beautifully. This guy, not so much. It's just barely glowing. So when I got this, it wouldn't burn at all. I could pump it up, open the valve, no air passing through the generator at all. It was completely clogged. So this is what I recommend doing for starters before you really tear into one of these. Take the tip off. By the way, if the tip is bad, it's a V-tip, so this is the same as the tip on, say, a common 220 generator. You could swap it out if you need to. Once the tip is off, put this on a fire brick, something that's going to be heat safe. Take your propane torch, heat it until it starts to glow, then dunk it in some cold water. Do that as many times as it takes. What I do in between is I fill my mouth up with some water, and I blow the water through from the bottom end to the top end, and I catch it in a glass container so I can see how much carbon is coming out. And when I can blow through it and there's no more bits of carbon coming out, then I know that it's probably okay. Now, I did that with this, and as you can see, the results aren't great. If I turn that tip cleaner a bunch of times, I may be able to get it to glow, but nothing like this. So it's still pretty well clogged up. So I'm going to show you how to take one of these apart, clean the inside, and rebuild it as necessary. So I'm going to shut these off, let it cool off, take the generator off, and I'll see you back here in a little bit. All right, we're back. The generator has cooled off and I've removed it. See the preheat cup here? You see the R55 was introduced about 1930, and it served a few functions. One, this was the first generator that was used on Coleman lamps and lanterns for kerosene. The old Q99s couldn't handle kerosene. The packing inside would get clogged up too readily. So these are sort of like a universal replacement. They go on the kerosene lanterns and lamps like these 168Ks, and with the preheat cup on there, put some alcohol in there and preheat it. You can also do that if you're running gasoline, but they also run gasoline, and these could be used as replacements on anything that used a Q99 or the early 220s and 228s, the slants, because those older generators didn't have a tip cleaning feature. If they clogged up, it was a pain. You had to shut the thing off, let it cool down, take the generator out, and poke a needle through the hole on the top. The R55 introduced this built-in rotary cleaning thing. So they clean themselves. Now, it doesn't mean like this that it doesn't get clogged up after years and years and years of use. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna crack this guy open and try to clean out the inside. So first, take the tip off. And R55s are a mixed bag. I don't know what they put in some of the later ones, but at least up until the 50s or 60s, the ones I've taken apart can have a number of different things inside. Sometimes there's nothing in here other than the needle for the tip cleaner, or the rod. Sometimes I found some like asbestos paper that's rolled inside. And one time I found a spring, although it looked like it had been added after the fact. But whatever the case, because there may be asbestos in here, the first thing I want to do is make sure it's all wet inside. Blow some water through there. Make sure we don't have asbestos fibers blowing around. Hopefully we won't have to worry about that, but you never know. Now, first thing, the tip cleaner, or the tip cleaner actuator. Just want to back that off just a bit. Now, don't take this off. Unless the graphite packing is ready to just give up and come out, don't take this out all the way, because if you do, the graphite packing tends to stick in there. It's got a little hole and this goes through in it, and the actuator's got a little L-shaped jog in it. And if you just pull it out, the graphite packing's going to stay in there. You'll pull this wire out through it, and you'll take the bend out of the other end. At that point, it's toast. If the whole thing does happen to come out easily, go ahead and take it out, but chances are it won't. So I'll turn the, need to go a little bit further because it's still, the way to tell when it's backed out far enough is when you can turn it and it no longer actuates the tip cleaning. Okay, that's good. Now, this can be a little bit tricky. I've got an old, because this will fit down inside there. I mean, if you want, you can try to tap it. It did drop a little bit, not much. Usually the thicker end of this will stick down here. So the thing to do is to take something like an old cleaning needle actuator from another generator and to tuck it down inside next to the cleaning needle. You don't want to bend the cleaning needle because they're very brittle, or they're very fragile, and catch the shoulder on top of it and see if you can't push it down. There we go. And it'll come out the bottom. You can see the needle is still intact. And yeah, that's pretty gunked up with carbon. So we'll clean that, and that means the inside is pretty filthy too. Here, this came out. That's a little tiny fine screen. Back in the day, white gas tended to have debris in it. So a lot of these older pre-1960s generators will have one of these little brass screens inside of it. You can safely throw that away. Usually they'll just get you into trouble if you try to put them back in, because your needle will get hung up on them and will end up being damaged in the process. So I'm going to have a look up here. You won't be able to see this, but I'm going to have a look up here with my flashlight. And it doesn't look like this has any packing material inside of it. It looks like a straight shot. Like I said, sometimes there's a wrap of asbestos paper inside, but it looks like this is all we've got. So I'm going to tighten this back down so I don't wreck the packing, because the next thing I'm going to do is take this into the kitchen. I'm going to put both these pieces along with the tip in a mild citric acid solution, and that will break down all of this carbon and make it easier to clean up. The brass will also be nice and shiny, and then we can put it back together. And so I'll see you in the kitchen in a little bit. All right, here we are in the kitchen. I've got the generator body, the gas jet, and the cleaning rod simmering away here on the stove. I'll let them sit here for 20, maybe 30 minutes. It's a mild acid solution. If all you've got is vinegar, that'll work just fine. I use citric acid. About a teaspoon of crystals per liter of water makes about the right solution. It's not exact, I eyeball it, but that gives you some idea. And this should take care of the brass, it should take care of loosen up the carbon that's on there, and we'll get things cleaned out. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, this should be good to go. It's looking quite a bit cleaner. The big thing is what it looks like inside. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to use some 4/0 steel wool just to scrub down the outside. It won't stay shiny very long once it's on the lamp and running, but now I'm going to take a round brush. I'm going to run that through on the inside. And this is getting a lot of the carbon out. You can see some of that black coming out. I'll keep doing that until we don't have any more black coming out of the end. And it'll probably be quite a bit. Kerosene generators are known for building up a lot of carbon. Could be why heating and quenching and just blowing water through wasn't cutting it. There's a lot of buildup in there. One thing you could try, carburetor cleaner would do a good job getting a lot of this out too. But I find this is a bit more thorough. Probably going to be doing this for a while, so I'll cut back when everything's coming out clean. Now the needle, see how that's got a lot of carbon on it. That should clean up fairly nicely. And the little tip, use the cleaning needle to make sure that's clean. Move it around. You can put it through from the top. I think that's good. So with that, we'll be back to the garage. Now it's time to put this back together. This is the tricky part, but it's not that bad. The key is, we'll unscrew the cleaning actuator again, because if the end of this actuator is poking into the body of the generator, we're going to have a terrible time getting the needle back in. It'll catch on the cylindrical part down here. But what we want to do is catch this hole with the end of this actuator. And then as this, of course, rotates up and down, that the end of the actuator is bent, and so it'll rotate and pull this up and down. So we want this hole up when we hold the generator body this way. The easiest thing I found to do is simply to slide the whole thing in, let it come out too far, and then push it back. And we want the needle just sticking out just a bit, and that should line up with this in the up position, hopefully. And then as we screw this back in, it should catch this hole. It may take more than one try, but we'll see what we can do here. This should slide in easily. If it binds on anything, pull it back out. You don't want to snag that needle. but it should be okay. If it gets tight, it'll be down here toward this end. So we'll slide it in. We've got that hole, we've got this hole pointing up. And it's got a socket in the bottom, so we can push it right in, like so. All right, so we've got the needle out. It did not get damaged in the process. So I'm gonna push it back just a little bit, because that's about where we want it in the up position. And then we'll start turning this back in. We want to watch and see if it catches the needle. Not catching yet. Looks like it may have now. No, not yet. Since it's not meshing up, I suspect we may have pulled this out. If you notice, it's got a little bit of distance there. So we've got it lined up about where it should be. I'm gonna give that a tap. And now it's working. Let's tap that in a little bit more. There we go. All right. Now we'll put the tip on. Make sure we see the cleaning needle popping up through the hole. Just barely. So we should be ready to go. Make sure this is tight. And I'll put this back on the lamp and see you in a bit. Well, there you have it. Running like new. Saved myself, I don't know, $35, maybe $40 on a new R55 generator. Not too hard to do, a little bit tricky to get that cleaning actuator seated back in the cleaning rod at the end. Like you saw, if the actuator is pulled out that little bit, just tap it a bit to get it reseated. But as long as you get it lined up right, it should work well. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope maybe it saves you some money, helps you recycle something that you might otherwise have thrown away. So see you next time.